Loading, be live.
All right, so let me open and call the order of the meeting, November 25th, 2025. Planning board meeting for Oxford. It is 6 p.m. All right, so we'll look at the minutes from last November 13th and review those.
I got it right this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
got it
did
in
good.
there.
Good job. You're not already reviewed them, but I make a motion, we accept the minutes from November 13th as written.
I'll second that motion.
We'll let you look at it, Tim. and then-
All right, yeah, let me just finish. Yep, all in favor of that? Good, so we get to move on to the business, and it is public comment or hearing for the Rovers Doggy Daycare proposal for 634 Main Street. So we met last.
650, I'm sorry, 650 Main Street.
650.
650, okay,
650.
that's a correction.
Sorry about that.
It's a 634, but it's 650.
650.
As long as the
So,
paperwork is correct, that's what matters.
The 630 is referring to that cannabis store. He was,
634?
yeah, 634, 634.
650. Yeah.
His is 6534 is that
It's
cannabis.
written on
place.
minutes as 650.
All right, so last meeting, we already discussed and went over the whole Rovers Doggy Care, so, and now that we have, the letters went out to the butters, no one is here,
And it was put in the paper for
and it was
the
put in the paper.
public comment, whatever.
Okay. So we'll just kind of
Give
kick
a few
it
minutes.
around for maybe 10 minutes. You know, so I drove by there and saw you've already done some stuff to the building.
Yep, I
Really
just
looks
re-sided it.
Yeah.
Yep, over the metal siding.
Yeah.
Just put some pine up there and sealed the roof leaks.
Yeah.
That's really all we've done. And it was gross insulation inside. We tore that out, put spray foam insulation in, and that's all we've done so far. And ground the concrete, but really we haven't built anything. You
Yeah.
know, and just kind of tried to button up the shell, really. Trying to keep the water out and keep the critters out, and yes, that's all we've done so far.
Yeah, you don't mess around, you get right at it.
Yeah, we're working on the proposed road sign right now.
Okay.
I've been in contact with DigSafe, with the town of Oxford Water Department, Sewer Department. They've already come out and marked their utilities so that we could dig the footers for the proposed timber frame sign.
That's the one that you had in the paperwork. if I
Correct,
remember.
correct, yep. And so they just have to put some concrete in the ground out there, so we're making sure. And then I also learned that we have to be, our pens have to be 50 feet off the road. So we're making sure that I'm getting all the quotes for fencing and everything like that, making sure we're within the setbacks on the sides and the front of the property. And,
I think you're well within that parameter there.
yeah, I just want
Yeah.
to keep everything 100, you know what I mean? You know, so making sure we're well within the setbacks and that the neighbors are all happy and that, we've just been kind of proposing all the work so far, and I think we'll try to put the sign footers in before the snow flies, obviously, and then we button up the shell, and that's all we're really doing. I'm just kind of slowly plugging away. Really no major timeline in place. Just kind of plugging away.
Not to bust you out, but there is a building permit required for a sign.
We'll have to get one of those. Yeah, I will be happy to apply for one.
Just out of curiosity, you said you're putting the kennels on either end of the building.
That's correct.
Is there room, if you had to, if you want to expand, is there room to put them out back?
Oh, yes, a lot.
Or
of
if noise become an issue, if you wanted to relocate them to out back?
yes,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how many 100 yards straight behind the building there is. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Setback's 15 feet.
Yeah, I know there's multiple acres there.
Yeah, okay.
I
So
don't
you're
know
good.
how many acres off the top of my head. I
Yeah.
don't remember. It's probably on that survey.
It was in the paperwork.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of woods behind the building.
Yeah.
Even before you get to where, I believe it's the Pink Feather Foundation
Yep.
is building, there's a
On the other
lot of
side, yeah.
space.
Yeah. I was just thinking as a plan B, if noise ever became an issue, and
100%, yeah,
yeah, because you want this to work, obviously.
right. I think we all want it to work, and I think that I've been very clear that I want to be a good neighbor first and foremost for everybody, and I don't want to bother my neighbors, right? I want to be a good neighbor, so I think that I'll do everything I can, try to keep that, off their shoulders, out of their ears, and we'll do everything we can.
Are you talking about the cement pad that you have there?
Yeah, behind, yes, straight that direction, like towards what's that, King Street, I guess it is. Yeah, there's a lot of woods there, easily, geez, I don't know, just
Yeah.
glancing in there, I can see 150 yards of woods,
Yeah.
but I can't tell you off my
Yeah.
eyesight how many yards that is.
Are you gonna have, your signage gonna be like clearly saying, Doggy Daycare?
Yeah, I think,
Is that-
obviously, whereas I'm kind of going the tongue-in-cheek high Rovers thing, I want to
Yeah.
make sure that it's very clear this is not cannabis, this is a
Yeah, I know,
dog,
that's-
this is
that's
dog
what-
daycare, this is the dog daycare.
That's where I was going with that.
Of course, yeah, I've already had, like the fence contractors, I called
Yeah.
them up and I said, hey, can I get a quote for the fencing and stuff like that, and they showed up at the store,
Yes.
because we can't falls.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we're here at High Rollers. And I said, no, it's High Rovers, guys.
Rovers,
It
yes.
says right inside the
Yeah.
building. They said, yeah, High Rollers, we're here. And I said, oh, geez.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Well, actually, with that other store beside you on the left side, that used to be a kennel.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I used to be a
Just
little,
sits, Linsky.
Yeah, that's where that cannabis place is going.
Right,
Yes.
yeah, that used to be a
Pet store,
pet store,
kennel.
he had kennels facing
Yeah.
Burlington's old.
Yep.
Sure.
Kennels, did a little bit of everything.
Yes, he did.
They used to sell goldfish in there.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know, I'm advanced.
We've been here a while.
Used to go deep sea fishing with the guy that used to live there,
no way.
and he was a good friend of my dad.
Yeah, I don't know much about the cannabis applications in there, but I haven't heard from, so they got approved a year and a half.
Yeah,
ago.
we're working on it right now, getting all the inspections up to par.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because at the time, we were wondering if they bought that house next door, and they did buy the house along with that business. too.
Yeah. Yeah, the house is the medical marijuana side, and the old pet
Garage,
store
whatever,
is the recreational side.
Also put 2 stores there. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a couple of young guys, if I remember correctly, that came
Yeah.
in, 2 or 3 of them that were together
Yeah.
going in on this.
Yeah.
Or for that.
Yeah.
I thought it went under because it
I
been
did
so
too.
long.
Because it
The
kind of
house
went
is
up.
very big inside.
How long do you want to go?
Yeah.
2 more minutes.
So before we vote, I gotta ask, High Rollers,
Mhm.
is that supposed to be like a Swiss chalet style building? Because it's absolutely beautiful.
So I modeled it after the second building at least,
Yeah.
the recreational building.
The one with the big glass front?
Yep, there's 2 buildings. It's called the Cobayano Building in British Columbia. And I was searching timber frame buildings one day on Google.
Oh, that is a timber frame.
Yep. It's
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a Tobayano building in British Columbia, and they have 2 identical buildings on these golf courses that look just like the recreational building. And so I took a picture of that, I screenshotted it, I sent it to my timber framer, I said, this is what I was thinking for the recreational building. I said, can we build this? And he said, well, yes and no. I was like, well, what do you mean yes and no? He said, well, yes, we can build it, but no, we don't have the timber on the East Coast for this building. I said, what do you mean? He said, the spans are much longer than the pine and hemlock that we have on the East Coast. He's like, we're gonna have to get Douglas fir. The Douglas fir that's really along the street like that is on the West Coast, British Columbia,
Oh.
hence why this building was on British Columbia. He's like, we can get it, we're gonna have to send it by train to here, and then they're gonna have to, they're gonna have to CNC cut the joints. Whereas the first building was all hand cut joints, like literally like, shaving it
Yeah,
a little bit, it was a lot more wrestling with the timber frame, you could say, with the first building. They shaved a little bit here, banged a little bit here, just kind of stuck together and used a lot of hammers, a lot of,
Yeah.
come alongs and things like that. Whereas the second one, they put in machines to to laser cut the joints. So it went together like an erector set. It just clicked together, put the dowels in, and just went, because the spans and the angles are so much longer, it has to be very precise. So the Doug fir came from British Columbia on a train to Rhode Island where it got laser cut, and then it got shipped by truck to Mechanic Falls where it got just assembled.
No kidding, huh?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really
No,
interesting.
it's a beautiful building.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and then all the windows are custom sized, so it's $100,000 in glass. Each one of those windows is 700 pounds, so
Wow.
that was a big challenge too.
Huh,
Yeah, so I'm terrified that someday, even if someone came out with a slingshot and knocked out a window or something like that, to replace a window, very complicated. It's not like they're all custom angles and custom size, and custom, and even one thing that I noticed that was very different from the first building was I could find black on black frames, window frames, very easily in the first building. But going from 2019 to 2022, when I started doing the framing, all of a sudden, no one started producing black on black window frames. Why is that? Everybody started doing, they would produce me black outside with white inside.
Weird.
But there was only one company that would do black on black. I'm like, isn't it more complicated to do a black outside frame with a white inside window frame?
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem kind of odd?
Yeah.
I could get tons of white and they're like, oh, you can paint it. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to paint window sills, just especially if they move at all. Yeah, but pre-COVID to post-COVID, it's like,
Something
why
dropped
did
off.
black window frames fall out of?
they're probably stuck on a ship out in the middle of the harbor somewhere.
Hard telling, not knowing, hard telling, not knowing. That became interesting. There's only one company, in New England that would do it, and so we got them to do it.
Which company was that?
They're Anderson windows.
It was Anderson?
Yeah, it was Anderson windows.
Cool. I like Anderson. All right, so we need to take a vote on this.
So I make a motion that we accept High Rollers Doggy Daycare, 650 Main Street in Oxford, as presented. We approve it.
And this is the improvement of the application.
As we've seen, as it was presented, yep.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, so let's vote on it. Okay.
It's a low floor.
You good to go?
Cool, well, fantastic, thank you, Shane, thank you, Tony, members of the planning board, thank you guys for spending time on your Thanksgiving week, you guys have a great holiday.
Yeah,
You too.
Have a good
And,
Thank you.
As
Thanks for
always,
bringing
if
your
I can be an
business to
asset,
us.
please don't hesitate to reach out to me, cannabis or dog daycare, I don't know much about dog daycares, but I know a little bit about cannabis, so if I can ever be an asset to you guys in any way, please don't hesitate, I'm happy to be a great neighbor and an asset to the town.
Appreciate it.
Do they,
So,
do
thank
they
you.
have
Thank you.
gummies? Do they have gummies for animals as well?
No gummies, just dog treats,
Okay, just
CBD
dog
dog treats.
Okay.
So far. Thanks, guys.
All right, TJ, thank you.